guys, so there was a request to do some tips and tricks on slow flow. I really love it. It's one of my favorites to watch, although I can appreciate picking up speed, but I really love like a clear, direct, clean flow, and usually that seems to happen when it's slow and thought out. So I thought I would give you some things I've been working on to clean up my slow flow and hope that it inspires you in some way to slow it down. So the first the most important three things I think, at least I notice when I'm watching hooping videos for slow flow, is it should always contain super clean planes. Stalling is a beautiful tool, and that we should keep the rest of our body kind of exaggerated and flowing along with our hoop. And those three together really create a dynamic looking flow session. So I guess I was going to talk about stalling first, and I was going to combine a couple isolation variations for Sin because she had asked for some. So stalling is, just taking the hoop and really letting it pause and sit. It can be as simple as when you're tossing to let it sit for a minute before you bring it down after you catch, and then bring down. Instead of, there's a lot more of a dramatic piece when you just kind of let it rest in the air for a second before you go with it. Another thing I really like to stall with, even if you're not stalling trying to do slow flow, I think it's really important, is when it comes to the 4-petal anti-flower. So most of the time when people do it, they are going super fast, and it looks something like this. Make sure I'm not going to hit the tree. Which, it's still pretty, it's still fun to watch. When it's going fast, you're not really paying attention to the plane. But when you slow it down, see if I can do it, you really have time to focus on bringing the hoop exactly where you want it, which really just does create more of an interest in the hoop and not necessarily the person holding the hoop. So in order to do that, we're going to start off at 6 o'clock with our palm down. And for the 4-petal anti-flower, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where all of our petals are going to be. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go up to this petal. And to do that, you're just going to turn your hand. You're not going to let it rotate here. I got confused on that when I was first learning it. So you go from here to here, and from right here, the momentum, you let it swing up. And you're going to grip it each petal. Make sure you grip it. That's how you can create a nice clean plane to the next petal. So we go up, we go down. Here we let it rotate over our hand and catch it. It doesn't do a full rotation. We just catch it just enough right there, and then we push back out. So up rotate, side rotate, down, it rolls, push, let it roll up. And that just creates a really slow, clean flow. And I guess this is kind of where that extra part of keeping our body beautiful and pretty while we're hooping. It's not very entertaining to watch me just go. But if I slow it down and I kind of use my hand to trace it, keep those pretty long fingers. I saw a video once where this girl explained the rooster. And it's basically where you put your hands like this, and you don't want to super extend them, so you're kind of making this weird puppet shadow thing. You just want to kind of let them gently rest on top of each other and create a nice little cascading look. That can be something really pretty to do. I don't necessarily always do that. Sometimes I'll just pretend like I'm tracing the hoop with my hand, keeping my fingers loose, my wrist loose. I guess not loose, fluid. You don't want a little dead, floppy arm. You just want it to be flowing with it. And that can create a really beautiful total picture visually. So the last one that I really, really like stalling with is the one-handed vortex. Because no matter how fast you're spinning, which I've got really jankety sandals and a bunch of sticks around me, but no matter how fast you're spinning, you can always take that vortex and slow it down. Whew. Take these off before I do this again. In order to stall it though, you kind of release it differently because you're not getting that momentum necessarily when you're trying to lift off back again. So if you're stalling, we're going to do it with this hand. You bring it down, and as you come back up, you kind of twist your wrist a little bit to kind of go behind your head and to shove it that extra rotation so it can go again. So if I slow it down, we go right here, I bring it up, and I toss it kind of just to help that momentum. I guess isolations, I'll go over those real quick. I'm not going to lie, my daughter's school, second day of orientation online for homeschooling was canceled today, and she's spending the night with Grandma, so I may have had a couple drinks. But I hope this still rocks for you anyway. So I'm going to go over isolations really, really quick. Just a couple variations of it, because I know Sin had asked for it. Ghosting isolation, I know we haven't posted one in Hoop Dance Boot Camp yet. So I'm hoping I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I haven't perfected it yet, but maybe you can practice it and help me fine-tune my rough edges. But I'm going to start with my left hand, and I'm going to have it facing thumb down, palm towards me, and I'm going to rotate leading with the pinky. So we're doing this isolation right here. Then whenever I want to, I'm going to add my extra hand, and they're going to mirror each other. So right here, I'm at 3 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time, and I'm going to go down with this hand and continue my rotation, but I'm going to bring this one up. So as I'm going, they're staying mirrored. They're both going to reach 12 and 6 at the same time. They're going to reach 9 o'clock at the same time. Right about here, my left hand is going to continue its isolation by letting it roll over and catching. And my hand's going to stay parallel with it. The more parallel, the better it looks. And they're going to come back and meet at 3. So you just continue that. And it's really great, I think, for your slow flow to practice this. Really slow it down. Turn with each time the hands meet. I think really helps me. If I'm standing still, my hands seem to get crooked. Sometimes I just like to kind of turn with them to make them stay nice and even. So I kind of went over for a second on some pretty things to do with your hands. Like I said, the rooster is a great thing. Nice, gentle, long line, straight, long line. And rolling the wrist, leading with the pinky, kind of bringing your fingers in, going out with the pinky, bringing the fingers out. Those are all fun ways just to keep that hand pretty, because your slow flow can be beautiful, but if you still got the dead body the rest of the way, I guarantee that's what the eye is going to focus on a lot more than the hoop, which is what we want to be focused on, right? Also, I guess to keep the rest of your body active, spin. I always suggest spinning, just even if it's a little bit at a time. Drawing one leg out maybe, bringing your arms out, creating these long straight lines. Going down real low is always visually interesting, especially when you're doing a bunch of maybe tosses and up high tricks, to somehow bring it down low, slowly, and then come back up. Always looks beautiful. So constantly change those planes, change the position of your body, keep that arm active and fluid. Sometimes I like to think of the opposite leg that's holding the hoop as a mirror. So instead of, let's say, going like this, which is still fun, sometimes we can go and really drawing that leg out, playing with the whole rest of your body. All those things together, I think, create a really awesome slow flow. If you have any suggestions on how to improve that, please let me know, and good luck, Sin. I hope that helped.